guys, I'm Aveline. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are building another one of these sort of real to Sims builds, but just like the one that I think I did, when was it, Thursday, I think? Or was it Wednesday? I don't even remember anymore, but I did another one of these real to Sims builds because we're past the Disney Princess theme weeks, plural. So we're gonna do something else for this week until I start like another theme next week. Maybe we'll see. It depends a little bit on what happens in the community and stuff, of course. I'm kind of slightly expecting there to be an announcement on Monday that there's a trailer coming out on Tuesday, but I could also be wrong about that. It's just, I feel like it's that time, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're just missing some announcements or something. So it depends a little bit on that, but we'll see. I've also zero clue what it's going to be if there's anything happening. So like, don't ask because I don't know. But Monday there should be a teaser, I think. Otherwise, I don't know what's going on. It's strange. However, we're not talking about that today. So we're building another one of these real to Sims. Although this one actually isn't based off of a real house, just like the one that I did Thursday wasn't. That one was based off of a drawing or like a sketch or something. This one is actually based off of a miniature house. I don't want to call it a doll house because I don't think that's what they're for. I think they're for like little miniature landscaping decorations, if you will, or installments or like stuff like that. I don't really know exactly what they're called in English, but I don't even know what they're called in Danish. I've seen a couple. People here usually have them during Christmas, especially stores and stuff like that. There's also like a cafe here at the train station where they have this like landscaping of miniature houses, and there's a train like driving around and around. It's been there since I was a kid. It's been there since before I was a kid, I'm pretty sure. So before I was born. But yeah, just like miniature landscapings, I want to call it, but I don't really know the proper term for it, so just bear with me. But it was based off of one of those miniature houses. I thought it was so cute. It was called a Storybrook Cottage, I think. Storybrook Cottage? Yeah, that sounds right. So I always like those kinds of like warmer toned cottages like that, and I really wanted to build it when I saw the picture. I found it on Pinterest, by the way, and I'm so sorry, but as per usual, I shut it down because I started building this house yesterday and I finished it today. And I have this bad habit of just closing down tabs when I don't really think about it. I just close them down and then I can't find them again. So I don't have the picture anymore. But if I happen to find it at some point, I'll make sure to link it in the description. So I can't put it into the video right now, but if I find it, it'll be linked in the description, just so you know. Maybe the last of these real to Sims houses that I do this week should be an actual, like should be based off of an actual house this time instead of a sketch or drawing or painting or a miniature house or I don't know, I just feel like it makes more sense when they're actually based off of real houses. It is called Real to Sims, so. But this was too cute to pass up on, so I had to go for it. I did change it a little bit because there was something with the roofing that wasn't really doable in The Sims, so I just changed it up a little bit. I also didn't know what it looked at the, like on the back of the house, but I had a suspicion that it's not the most detailed back of the house anyway. And therefore, we're also building it on this 30 by 20 in Windenburg, by the way, that is wide instead of long and narrow. So instead of spending time on the back of the build, I'm spending more time on the side of the build because that is where their garden is. Even though they don't have much of a garden, to be honest, there's like a couple of plant pots and a picnic table as well, and there's a grill too. So not like a whole lot going on out there, but we're doing what we can with the space that we have. I didn't want to move this to a 40 by 30 because I felt like the house was too small for that too. So it's just kind of like an awkward size in between 30 by 20 and 40 by 30. But then again, like if I moved it to the 40 by 30, wait, no, there is a wide 40 by 30 here in Windenburg, isn't there? In the foresty area. There's both the long one and then there's the wide one. Yeah, I completely forgot that. And then there are two 20 by 20s. Oh well, and a 64 by 64 that we're never touching again. I've done a couple of builds on that lot, and 64 by 64s at this point just kind of scare me a little, or not necessarily scare me. It's just I've learned through building a lot of tiny houses that I like smaller builds a lot better than bigger builds because you can finish up a build and then move on to the next one and then explore a different style a lot quicker than if you're doing very big houses. So 40 by 30 40 by 30s and above, basically. I don't know, I like a good 40 by 40 sometimes, but just sometimes I have to be in the right mood to take on anything bigger than 40 by 30, basically. So yeah, today we're just building on a 30 by 20 though. So as for the interior, I have gone for a lot of like brighter interiors lately. So a lot of white and beige and lighter wood tones, light grays as well, maybe a couple of pastels here and there, such as green or yellow, or even like a little bit of a pink as well, I think. So I wanted to go for something a little bit different because I also felt like that sort of vibe, even though I love that vibe today. Like I don't know, I like that vibe these days. That's just how it is. We go through phases where we like different things, and I'm in a phase where I like brighter interiors like that, like lighter interiors, I suppose. But this house, the exterior, I didn't feel like it would fit with that sort of interior, so I decided to go for lots of darker wood tones. It just makes it very like warm, and it's a little bit darker, of course, so if you're not into that sort of interior, then that's completely okay. But I feel like everything can be cozy, of course, but there's something about a darker interior like this where you're using a lot of darker wood tones that just adds some kind of warmth to an interior. So it's just, I don't know, it's just warm and cozy, basically. I feel like it fits with the exterior, which is also red and gray. I actually had issues with these two wallpapers together when I was doing the exterior. I don't know what it is. It's like they don't fully fit together, but just ignore that. Like, don't look at it now. Just don't notice that, please. I think putting down the columns actually helped a lot. That column looks so weird right now. What was that? Anyway, I think putting down the columns actually helped a lot because there are these columns on the red wallpaper as well. So once I put those down, it was a lot more cohesive, I suppose. But the gray wallpaper from the Country Kitchen Kit, I think it's what it's called, along with the red and brown wallpaper from Get Together. Those two on their own together did not look right. I feel like it would have been better if the gray one, the gray wallpaper, I really like that wallpaper, so I wanted to use it. Plus, it was the wallpaper that looked the most like the one that the miniature house had. So, or it didn't have a wallpaper, you know what I mean. So I just wanted to go for it, but I feel like it would have looked a lot better if it had like a slight warmer tone to it, because the other one is like red brownish, so I feel like those two would have gone a little bit better together. But there isn't a swatch like that with that wallpaper, or that wallpaper doesn't come in a swatch like that. And they work together because I put down the columns, so we're all good. I don't know if that little rant made any sense whatsoever, but I'm just going with it. It's fine. It's actually something I've been thinking about quite a lot lately because I'm trying to get into colored clothing, which is not going great, but I'm trying, so I'm gonna cut myself some slack for trying. So basically, as someone who is very used to wearing black and gray and white, basically, that's just what I stick to. I'm Scandinavian, it's kind of what we do up here, but I just want to try a little bit of color, and I've learned that, which makes sense, but it's something that I hadn't really thought about before, even though it's one of those things that you don't necessarily think about, but you do it anyway. So cool tone colors go well together and warmer tone colors go well together. That makes sense, but it's not necessarily something that you actively think about when you're putting together an outfit or you're choosing colored couches in your Sims builds or wallpapers or I don't know, stuff like that. So that was something that I started thinking about when I was doing the exterior, but I still feel like they work together. So I just wanted to add that a little bit. But yeah, something that I've been thinking about a lot. Or not necessarily a lot, just when I'm looking at clothes and, I don't know, wallpapers. So yeah, anyway, we are working on the kitchen and the dining area. I really wanted to just use the platforms a little bit because I feel like whenever I don't use platforms, so not foundations, but platforms on the exteriors of my builds, I kind of tend to forget them when I get to the interior. but it just adds like a nice little touch here and there. So we have the dining area on a heightened platform. I think there is also like a small one, a short one, I almost said, a small one in the living room as well, leading to the parents' bedroom, which is on the ground floor, by the way. You could totally redecorate if you want a family living here, because there are four bedrooms total, right? And there is a bathroom, like a full-on bathroom on the ground floor too. So what you could do, because the teens' bedroom is actually quite big, and you want this to be like a multi-generational home, you could turn the bedroom here on the ground floor into a grandparents' bedroom and then turn the teens' bedroom into the parents' bedroom. That is something that I was considering, but I ended up not doing that. I've done a lot of generations homes in the past, like over the past like 2-3 years, I've been doing them kind of like here and there, you know? So it is something that I do quite often, and I was considering turning this one into one of those kinds of homes, but decided against it. If you want to see another generations home though, let me know. I know that a lot of you guys actually, because it makes sense to me too, like I have a hard time, or I remember when I played the game, so like focused on gameplay as well in my free time, I would actually have a hard time moving out my grandparents' Sims. Like, I don't know. It's also because you created them yourself, or later on they would be kind of like mixed with the sim that you created and then their partner, and you know, like you're playing through several generations. I don't know, I just have a hard time like saying bye to them, so I want them to live in the house until they pass on to a better place. And it's hard to fit them in unless you have a big house that is actually built for that sort of thing. So that's why I started doing generations homes. And I feel like a lot of people actually play the same way that I used to do, like having a hard time moving out grandparents, basically. It gets a little bit difficult to have two sets of grandparents, but also I feel like that wouldn't necessarily, well, I don't know. Realism is different depending on where you're from, so you can never really say this is totally unrealistic, you know? Because it's just, that's something I've learned while I've been doing YouTube, because I would say something like, this is totally not realistic. I realize that. And then the day after, I get a comment from someone in a country far away, and they'd be like, well, this is how it's like here, so I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, thank you for schooling me, because I honestly don't know better. So, like, how would I know? So I think saying stuff like, this is not realistic, or whatever, is something you should watch out with, because it might be exactly that in some other place in the world. You never know. Maybe there are grandparents from both sides live together in houses somewhere in the world. How would I know? You know? But I feel like building a house that would end up being like for, because then as well you only have room for 8 Sims in the household, so suddenly they're taking up like half the household as well. But you'd have to like have a huge house too for that. I don't know. Is that something that's common where you're from? Let me know. I always love hearing like stuff like that, because it's fascinating how different the world is in different places. You get what I mean. I have a hard time like phrasing things today. I did not have a lot of sleep, so it's fine. It's just English is, well, just speaking Danish too. Trust me, it's not any better in Danish, whatever. It's just kind of difficult when I've not had like a lot of sleep. So, or correction, I don't need a lot of sleep to speak. I just need more than a little. So anyway, we are working on the parents' bedroom. I went for some yellow tones in here, even though I don't know. I don't like this bed swatch, but I was looking through all of the bed swatch, or a lot of the different beds, and it hit me that a lot of them are more on the modern side, and that's not the vibe that I wanted to go for this house. I've also been building a lot of like eco style or eco-friendly kind of homes as well, where I'd go for these kind of modern vibes instead. So I just wanted to do something a little bit different. I also know that I've been doing a lot of cottages lately though, but this is just me trying to move away from suburban houses and modern houses and eco-friendly modern houses. So I'm just trying to do something a little bit different. But the bed swatches, like, none of the beds really fit, so I went with a base game one, and I hate it. I don't like it. It looks gothic, and that's just not a vibe that I personally, the two, like me and gothic, do not go well together. That's just how that is, and that's completely fine. But yeah, I don't know. We need more good beds, basically. Yeah, we need more good beds that aren't necessarily on the modern side. Do you guys agree? Also, I actually included the 2 bathrooms on the 2nd floor. I know that the floor plan is a little funky up there, but that's just how it is today. So I basically there are 2 bathrooms right next to each other. And I know that's weird, but I was kind of thinking that one of them would be more for the teen. So they have their own bathroom, and then the other one the 2 children in the house share. Also, by the way, I think I forgot to say who this house is for. We have 2 parents, could also be a single parent, of course, as always, and 1 teen and then 2 children. So it's a family of 4 to 5 total. The parents' bedroom is on the ground floor and the children all sleep on the 2nd floor. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. I don't know, is it a safety thing? Like you feel a little bit more safe, I suppose. If you have like your children upstairs and then your whatever. It just felt like it made sense. So I could have put the teen's bedroom on the ground floor, to be honest, but decided against it. Also, I had to make it just a little bit smaller because it was so big. That's what I mean. Like you could easily have swapped out the teen's bedroom with the parents' bedroom because the teen's bedroom is actually 5 by 5, so it's 25 tiles. And I think the parents' bedroom is possibly 18 or something like that. So technically, you know, that's a possibility, but I decided not to. At least I think it's 5 by 5, but we'll see in just a little bit. I made it smaller simply because it was so big, so that's why like it looks a little funky, but I just didn't want the bedroom to be that big. Like I didn't know what to put in there, basically. And they also have their own little walk-in closet from Get Together too. So by putting that down, I figured if I just turned a couple of tiles here and there into sort of like spaces, non-used spaces, I suppose, that way the room would be just a little bit smaller. I like more cramped spaces too, better than like huge spaces, especially for bedrooms. I've talked about this before. It's a safety thing, or not like a safety thing, but like feeling safe. Does that make sense? So I just like sleeping in a smaller room than a bigger room, and I project that onto my Sims all the time. So anyway, I think we're working on the 2nd one of the children's bedrooms now. They basically have just about the same kind of items, but in different shapes and sizes, of course. And both of them have a couple of toys as well. I think I forgot the little medical kit, even though that would have been kind of cute to place somewhere. You could still find a spot for it wherever in one of these 2 rooms. It should be easy. So they also have like nicely sized rooms. Actually, I feel like this is kind of like a basic sized room, not gonna lie. 4 by 4, that's pretty basic. Also, I did consider them to be twins, by the way. So this is the first time in a long time I've made twin children that don't share a bedroom. But hey, it happened. I remember getting a comment about that, like, what was it, on an apartment building or something? Someone was like, why do you always make the twins share a bedroom? I don't know, I think it's cozy. That's just, I don't have a twin, but I feel like it would be cozy, at least as children. I did share a bedroom with my brother for a while when we were smaller, so yeah. It just, for me, sharing bedrooms with your siblings when you're younger just makes sense, because that's what I did. So I just, again, project that onto my Sims. That's just how it works, you know? Like my realism, or my reality, that's basically what I put into The Sims, yeah? And because you don't have a lot of different life stages in The Sims, like toddlers are all just toddlers, children are all just children. They're not children who are 8 and 10 or 7 and 9. They're just children. I often see them as being twins because technically they're the same life stage. So in my head, they're the same age. And therefore I just end up putting them in the same bedroom because it's cozy to share a bedroom with a sibling. But this time, they got each of their bedrooms. I could have turned one of them into a toddler bedroom, I suppose. You could still do that if you want to. I just decided not to. But the opportunity or the option is there for you guys if you want to fully redecorate this house to your liking so it fits with your household. Go ahead. I think I had a whole rant about that in the last video, but just to sum it up, if you want to customize the house, did I just pronounce that right? Customize. Okay, if you want to customize the house to your liking, go ahead. You have my permission. Just do what you want. I'm completely fine with it. I think I also mentioned that a lot of people, myself included, before I started building, actually download houses based on the exterior and then just kind of like fit them to their liking afterwards. So I feel like that's pretty common. I think I've heard other people say that in my comment section, that they were going to customize the house or just change the interior so it fits with their household, because it's impossible for creators to basically cover everyone. There's a lot of different kinds of households in The Sims, like a lot of different combinations and family dynamics and so on and so on. So it's impossible to cover every single one of them, especially as like a creator, just one creator, you know. So yeah, just go ahead, do what you want. Just download the houses and change them if you want to. I'm completely fine with it. So lastly, we are doing a little bit more decorating, or not, what? Landscaping, not decorating. I just remembered, I forgot to mention, but I forgot to decorate the kitchen, so like clutter it up on cam, but that is fixed. Also the laundry room, I forgot to sort of decorate that as well on cam, but that is also fixed in the uploaded version. I did have some issues with the terrain paint for some reason. It disappeared, so it might not look like, or I've done it twice in the video or something. It just, there's a glitch there. I thought it was gone, but then it turns out that it wasn't, and I don't know why it's not fixed. But sometimes if you build a house and then do the terrain paint and you shut down the game, and you log in again or open up the game again, the terrain paint will be gone, and it's super weird. I don't know how that happens. Like, what's different with the terrain paint? Because it's not like items are disappearing. It's just the terrain paint. It's so weird. Even if you're using the terrain tool, that doesn't disappear. As far as I've experienced, at least, it's fine, but the terrain paint is just gone. So that's a little strange. But yeah, I might have done the terrain paint twice in this video. If that's the case, that's why that happened. But there's terrain paint in the uploaded version, and that was my point. So, and also the laundry room is decorated, the kitchen is decorated, so everything should be just fine. Anyway, for the exterior, like I said, I think at some point in this video, we just have a couple of plant pots, of course. I feel like when they live in the forest, they just love plants and would probably love a couple of them for themselves outside. Plus, it's really nice to have their own little gardening area, basically, and just, I don't know, grow tomatoes or something. Just do what you want. They also have a grill and a picnic table, and I think that is pretty much about it for the exterior. Just lots of plants out here, lots of landscaping. I used some terrain paints that I haven't used in a long time, like this one with the little white flowers, and it's so cute, but it kind of fit with the theme of the house, Storybrook Cottage, as well, because it's cute. So at least in my head it does, so I went with it. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. If you do like this build, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. If you want the tray files, they can be found on my Patreon, which will be linked in the top of the comment section in a pinned comment or in the description box. If you like Roblox, check out my Roblox channel, and if you like lifestyle videos such as vlogs, check out my lifestyle channel. They're both linked in the pinned comment as well. And I think that's about it. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Can I kiss you when the night is through? Because right now it's all I wanna do. Your lipstick left a mark on my cheek, so I keep thinking of you. Whoa, you wanna do it again? You wanna do it again sometime? Whoa, can I see you again? Can I see you again sometime? If you'll be standing by your door, I'll pick you up at 8. I said, whoa, you wanna do it again? You wanna do it again sometime? I wanna hear your voice over the phone. Can I call you when I get back home? So we can talk about you and I. Or can you tell me what you wanna do? I'll do anything you ask me to, as long as I can spend the day with you. Lipstick left a mark on my cheek, so I keep thinking of you. Whoa, you wanna do it again? You wanna do it again sometime? Whoa, can I see you again? Can I see you again sometime? If you'll be standing by your door, I'll pick you up at 8. I said, whoa, you wanna do it again? You wanna do it again sometime?